Sick. Mhm. Yes. Mhm. Okay. Treasure. Oh. Oh. Lo and behold, it works. Lo and behold. I could just turn it off actually. Boop. Boop. Mhm. Boop. Right, and there we are. As previously, I think I'll let it simmer for a few minutes before we go. That way we can, just take a moment. And then once some people appear, we can go back to the newbie stuff. And it should work out well. For now, I'll just keep it to DoW2, since I'll just be playing Minesweeper there and it'll work that way for the moment. Which is very amusing, I guess, but yeah. Right. Minesweeper, Minesweeper. Well, in case somebody doesn't know what will be happening here in a few minutes, we'll be, doing our little event of teaching newbies how to play DoW2. That's why we are in DoW2, obviously. And previously we've tackled CSM, or Chaos Space Marines, and Space Marines, which are probably the more popular factions in this game. And today we'll just be doing the good old Orcs and the good old Eldar. And they are honestly similar enough so that maybe I shouldn't have put them in to the same day, but I don't know. I'm not sure if it would have been better to keep them that way or not. But we will see in a moment, I guess, how it will go. In the meantime, I'll just beat my sweeper score. I mean, I'm definitely not being that fast, but at least you win these. Okay. What? -1. Hmm. Oh, there must be a mistake here. Yep. I'll give it like 2-3 more minutes. So anybody interested in, seeing this all live can join, and hopefully some people will join later. Just like 111, or there has to be like one Boomba here, so this has to be a Boomba because I'm lucky, I guess. There has to be a Boomba here, so those are safe. Oi! And now we have... Oh, what? Yes. This is like this. This is like the... What? That's a 5. But yeah, Oryx and Eldar will be the focus for today. I think once again, I'll speak a little bit on the basics, since repetition is the mother of learning. I think that's how you say it, meaning that we really just want to repeat stuff to maybe get a good grasp of it. Okay, let's give it a wee bit more. Should I do like a ping on the Discord? I probably should. Just small pingy event announcements at intermediate. No, not intermediate. Initiate at at beginner we have started so many announcements. But yeah, I think I made one small mistake here, as can be seen, being that I marked the graph the decanon, so it will be in white for the entirety of this little lesson stream, and yeah, it will be annoying to everybody who ever puts his eyes onto this. I'm already being annoyed, and that's really my thing. So so let's prepare to talk about orcs and an elder. Boop boop. Hello, Amov. Hello. Okay. So firstly speaking, before we had the idea of build, we had the idea of, well, I think I called it timings, right? And another thing that we have is effectively pretty simple win con. So we will just start from those things, because they will just take way less time compared to the builds, because we will have a lot of to speak about. So effectively, orcs are a very specific race in DoW2. Their main shtick is that they are pound for pound, probably weaker than any other race in this game, at least at the beginning. As maybe aside for the needs, like the orcs' combat power is very low, if you of course don't count their heroes. Their heroes do really a lot of heavy lifting, and I mean mainly Warboss and Kano. Megway is obviously very weak at fighting, but he has the mobility, the teleport, so he can provide value in some other way. But Orcs, pretty weak early game. Yeah, Orcs are weak, and that's the whole information, right? But on the other hand, Orcs have relatively cheap units to get in tier 1.5. So and by that I mean the units on which you spend power on, and they have a lot of possible upgrades. So orcs work around something that we will just be calling timings. Effectively, a timing is an idea that you are trying to find a moment where you have an advantage over the enemy, and you try to fight them in that moment of advantage. That's very simple, very, very simple. And orcs do it mostly around Stormboys, right? If you are playing orcs, you'll probably you start with Slagas, obviously, and then you will probably go like double Shootas. That is the popular build. And then after Shootas, you will likely go for Stormboys, right? So we have those units, and this really works with any hero. This is just the most cookie cutter standard build. The thing about Stormboys is they are probably the strongest tier 1 squad in melee. They have 950 HP, that's premium, that's good value. 150 power melee DPS, and they even have WA support, which means that that HP and that DPS will be going up the more WA you use in a fight. So if you can get into a situation where you have your two Shootas, Slagas, and your Stormboys, and the enemies would have even like guided weapon squad, you can just jump them and outstat elders, whatever they would do. This is especially noticeable if you were fighting, for example, Space Marines, right? Because what Shootas cost is 540 altogether. If you're fighting Space Marines, a little bit tangent because it's not Elder, but they are probably the best example of such mechanic. In Space Marines, they get 660 for the tacticals and scouts. You just don't beat that. They have better army, their range, they will bleed you, but then same for the next purchase. If they go for Devastators and you went for Stormboys, right? That's your total rec cost. That would be the total rec cost of SM. And at this point, it is about equal, right? At this point, it's just about equal. And you will get, of course, early power because you don't need to spend as much on the units, they come out earlier, yada yada yada. Right? So at that point, you can just with your Storm Boys, you have the advantage then. And that's when you use, as we said, your timings. Just try to find a good state for yourself to be in. And orcs are a race that really, really works around those timings. Okay, I can be heard. Okay, okay. I just wasn't sure. Um, their idea is that you want to get your Storm Boys or somebody else, some other tier 1 squad out early. Once you do that, you want to get some upgrades, and then you will probably be going into tier 2 quite early. Then in tier 2, once again, you end up in a situation where your early game options are like very, very cheap. If you look at like your main purchases would be like War Track, Weird Boy, Death Dread, and like you look at those and you realize that War Track is what he's like 220 over like 35 or something. That's very cheap for transport. Of course, you'll be only using it for transportation and reinforcement. It is not a combat unit, but that is cheap. Weird Boy 400 over 40, probably normal-ish costed for a sub commander. Not the cheapest, not the most expensive. And then you will, of course, have your Death Dread, who's, I think, 260 requisition and like 65 power or something, which is, again, like half the power of most tier 2 vehicles. So you will be getting those units out very fast. And then you have amazing scaling on like Slagas and Stormboys. So you get your tier 2 composition, and then you go into tier 3, obviously. And then again, you have the cheapest tank in the game, comes out very early, is very burst. You go to the infantry, your knobs are like relatively inexpensive, probably not inexpensive typically, but they are like medium costed. Commander, pretty cheap. Flash kits, again, pretty cheap. You'll be just, your main win con will just be going around those timings, those moments where you got an advantage over your enemy, and you'll just be trying to jump them and stab them. And on the other hand, we have Elder, right? Elder are a very weird race in this game because their tier 1 very much does not support direct combat. Effectively, you have your Guardians and your Banshees, which are your combat units, right? But then you instantly look at your tier 1.5 purchases, and one of those is Guardians weapon team, which is a setup team. It is faster than usual setup teams, but it's still a defensive unit. And then your second unit, pretty simply, is our Rangers, who are, well, just a poking unit, right? If they were to go have a fight, they would lose against Guardsmen. They would lose against everybody. They cannot fight, right? So Eldars in tier 1, effectively, it is an exercise in survival to a great extent, especially against orcs. Like, Eldars cannot buy enough tier 1 units to be able to contend with orcs indefinitely. Like, at some points, orc will be able to outspend you. They will be able to just run you down. So effectively, what you try to do is you try to survive. And if you manage to survive up until tier 2, then you go into your tier 2 options. And Falcon is good, Rayford is good, Otrak is good, Spiders are good. Like, those units are very good into orcs. Like, you have a lot of good options. Then you have your upgrades. Of course, your Guardians scale better than Shootas. Howling Banshees are like pretty decent. They don't scale better than Slaggers, but they're still okay. Warlock has good war gears. Fantasy has good war gears. Warp Spider has amazing war gears. Like, what you'll be effectively doing is you'll just be trying to survive up until tier 2. And then if you can do that at a reasonable pace, you will probably be able to just beat Elder. Beat orcs as Elder. And of course, we'll talk a little bit about like builds, some maybe cheese strats that you can do, and stuff like that. But yeah, those are like the basics of those races, right? So let me fill this thing in so I can go to the. Oh, that looks awful. Oh wow. Yeah, it looks like it's dirty. It looks like my screen is dirty. Okay, let's move this. And now some build ideas, right? They are like pretty simple. Honestly, Canop, you could probably build anything against Eldars, and in general, because Canop is really good into Eldar. Eldar's main struggle are invisible commanders. And that is because the only detection in Eldar roster are Rangers. And because Rangers are your only detection, if Orcs have an invisible unit, that is Canop, they Eldar have to get Rangers to be able to detect him. Because if you just went Guardian's weapon team, okay, Canop can just invis onto it, and it is instantly disabled, Orcs follow up, they win the fight. If you build two Guardian's weapons teams, Orcs build Stormboys, and Canop just ties up one, Stormboys tie up the second guy. Can't do shit. GG, the end, done. So, Canop honestly can kind of go anything against Eldar. Actually, maybe I should probably go over the Eldar builds first because they're actually much simpler. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do Eldar builds first. Eldar's path, like, genuinely, you could say 4 builds, like, total. You have your hero, then you have your starting guardians, and then you obviously go for banshees. Like banshees, you go into every matchup, even if you fight IG, where you would think that banshees are no, not playable, it's sentinel, blah blah blah. You still need them, even if they are just on a side. You can probably support them in some way. They would be very very useful. So that's your starter, right? We can genuinely just copy it over like a few times, and this will be like the same build every single time, like the same starter. Like that's your basic, right? Then once you get that, you can go for more combative style and like get Guardian and oops, and then just Guardian's weapon team. The problem is it wouldn't really work that well into Canop as we established. He's invisible, so he'd probably bully you. Although Farseer maybe could be able to pull it off with her global. And if she does that, that would work pretty well. Then the other build, the most common ones will be, well, just 2 instances of either Rangers or, oops, I want to make them bigger, either 2 instances of Rangers or 2 instances of Rangers of Guardian Weapon Team. And the build of Rangers is better into races as Space Marines, where you can poke them. Um, could work into Chaos. I think it's pretty decent into IG2, but it is really not good into Orcs because Orcs will just bully you with shooters. So effectively, the best build for Eldar is this one into Orcs. Like this is your best build. The Orcs, because effectively what we are trying to do is you are trying to survive, and the setup teams will allow it, right? And then you want to go tier 2, and in tier 2 we'll be going for Falcon most of the time, and our other option will be after Falcon Warp Spiders. Like this is probably the best setup you can get. It is probably like this build. Actually, I'll move this a little bit so it'll be a oi oi oi. Can I not do it like this and this? And if I copy it now, will it be able to be? Nope. That is awful. Oh yeah, because I'm just erasing stuff. I am not writing per se. Let me just do this. The most scuffed way of dealing with anything. Oh, bollocks. So this here would probably be your best bet. This build, obviously, you would want to get your upgrades. Guardians have battle equipment, very good value, but obviously you want to get Guardians weapon teams earlier. Then Howling Banshees, obviously they're pretty good as well. You would into orcs probably aspect of strength, AOS, let's write it for short. On Farseer, if you want to counter the enemy melee, it'll probably the best idea would be to Levy Blade, which is the levitation blade, plus the middle armor. Like I don't know what it is, but it's a Psychic Storm armor. Let's call it because it gives you Psychic Storm ability. You get this, you get leader, right? In tier 2. Guardians also get a leader in tier 2. And then you have this setup, you get Warp Spiders, fully upgrade them. And then maybe get an Otra with that. And that build will probably be your best bet. Honestly, not only into orcs, but will be your best bet into many other races because it's just made up of very solid units. The setup teams, Eldars have the best ones, so it will always work. Falcon is a transport. We are in the transport meta in DoW2, so again, it will always just work. Warp Spiders, they're pretty great into most races, not that good into Space Marines or into races that can effectively stat check them, let's call it. Like Warp Spiders can abuse the cover, they can use the teleports, but they do not threaten Space Marines, they do not threaten Chaos Space Marines. So it would not be the best idea to, get them into those races. I think they wouldn't be the best into NIDs because you don't have good high wire targets. They probably are decent into IG, good into orcs, obviously. What other race am I missing? I think that's all the races. Oh, OM. Could work into OM. Honestly, could work. But probably not the bestest. Yeah, but this is like your build. As Farseer, obviously, you could get slightly different builds as other heroes. And let's, just make a small note. Actually, can I make it smaller a little bit? So I'll be able to keep all of this inside. I would like to make it like, slightly smaller. It will look awful, but hopefully it'll still be readable. Yeah, it is still readable, not the best quality, but what can you do? Okay, let's just copy this over and let's paste this let's do it differently. Let's do it further, like this, like this, like this, and let's move it up a little bit, right? Okay, so we have those as your standard builds. So now the question is, what other ideas do you have against orcs as Elder? And the other ideas is obviously to go War Spider and just shoot them dead effectively. You could go this, and I'll give you like one final, cheese build, let's call it, as Warlock. Right, so I wanted to make him pretty. Wait. Wait. What did I do? Oh, what did I do? How did I break it that badly? Okay, go back to Warlock. And now some small ideas on Warlock and Farsi, right? So, firstly, the Spooder. Spooder has guns, and orcs don't like to bleed. If you can bleed orcs for their requisition, if you can just kill a lot of their models, orcs will keel over and just die. So, as Wolf Spider, into orcs, targeters are your best choice every single time. Like you can never go wrong with them. And then tier 2 ranged. Oh, I wrote it weirdly. And your tier 2 ranged weapon, which effectively will just make you, crazy strong. Oh, that was pretty big. And that's too small. Is this perfect? No, that's big. Like 4 pixels. Oh yeah. Yeah. And then tier 2 ranged weapon. That way you just teleport. Oh, and then of course tier 2 armor. I'll just write it tier 2 arm because I don't have that much space. But you just get this setup, and I can guarantee you that unless the enemy elder player is like very, very competent, you will probably end up with Warp Spider being level 5, 6, 7 by the end of the game and providing like maybe even thousands of requisition worth of bleed by just being a stupid little cunt. Like orcs really will not be happy about Warp Spider just being a menace. And when it comes to cheesing as Warlock, actually maybe I should have just copied this build because that's like the best build that you can go into orcs. I'll just copy it to over to every single guy. Like that's probably what you should do. I'll just write best under it. Best build. Ignore hero. Best build. Any hero. Any hero. Boop. We have this. So this is the Wolf Spider build, and then the Warlock. His little cheesy build is Immolator, which is his tier 1 weapon that gives him burn, and then Champion Armor. Champ, let's call it. And then what you do, once you get that silly little build, you just go into range stance, and you sit in heavy cover, and you are just an absolute freaking menace. So, where should I write it? Immo plus Cham, ranged. Ranged. Right? Range Warlock, Immolator, Champion. That once you do it, you have effectively like 1390 guy in the heavy cover that melee cannot displace. So Slagas and Stormboys will not work. And then you have again the build, the ranged, and you just sit in heavy cover. Like, what is range going to do to you? If you count that orcs have only piercing, you are effectively close to probably like 7,000 HP in the heavy cover. Like they are not displacing you at all. So this is a stupid cheesy build, but it can genuinely work. And no room for ranges in Farsi build. This is just an example build. She could build them. I wouldn't recommend it into orcs because orcs have shooters and shooters will just genuinely walk you down with rangers because rangers do not output DPS fast enough, I would say. So orcs will just keep on walking into them, and the moment rangers are detected, they will probably bleed models instantly because shooters have that much of a DPS. and and once they have like those double shooters, storm boys, right, they will just keep walking, walk you down to your gen farm. If they bash it, you'll probably be very, very screwed because rangers also cannot bash with guardian weapons teams. You can kind of bash as well. Maybe you've done it, but I think that on like in the games that I've seen, uh it doesn't seem to work that well, in my opinion. WordPress gets his charge, but you have two setup teams. You just layer them. You set up like one Shuri like 20 units. Like let's say you have like Shuri. It's looking this way, right? Controlling like one important checkpoint, and you just, for example, sit somebody on it, or maybe put guardians near it, and then you have another Shuri that's in front of it, and it just covers it. So the moment anybody jumps you, or effectively have to force a situation where this Shuri has to get jumped for the enemy to be able to progress. If you can do that, then the second Shuri will just punish the jumping on the first one, and zombies have very long leap cooldown, so they will not be able to control you. Like that is not an easy thing to misplace, effective, especially on some more choky maps. It could work, but Warboss will have very bad time until there, and I'll mention a silly build. Yes, it can. He can be slowed by banshees if they like just shout at him. You can leap on him with warlock, which is also doable. If you wanted to do, it could even, if you're playing Wasp, you could get targeters on him and just stand the warboss. Like running into setup teams as warboss is not the best. It If it was Hive Tyrant, if he was suppression immune, I would agree absolutely. But since Warboss can be suppressed, it is honestly not that great. I wouldn't say so. I would say that two Shuri is probably your best build, and then you can just tech rush, because by the time Storm Boys come out, you will be like close to second Shuriken or something like that. But you just layer Shuris. You have to make sure that they're not sit into each other. What you are attempting to do, what you're trying to do, is to make sure that Storm Boys cannot disrupt both of the Shurikens at the same time. Like, you have to make it difficult for orcs. Rangers could probably work, but is at that point I don't know whether orcs wouldn't be able to just cancel the Storm Boys, get Lutas, and just camp, because of because then Rangers don't bash. If orcs can just force off your banshees and guardians in any way, right? If he can just do that, then even if he loses the fight, he is not being punished by you bashing him. So at that point, he could honestly tech rush you faster than you can tech rush him, and yeah, that could work. But yeah, those are like the builds for Elder. Uh, in orcs as well, you could probably get Great Brave Lord, right, with the Shuriken. Fire dragons, not the best, because Storm Boys can jump them. Graveyard, again, very immobile, not the best. And now for the orc builds, let's start with like the standard build. Let's take the standard hero being Warboss. Our basic boy build is effectively slag us, shoot us, another shoot us, and yeah, and dragons just melt to shoot us. Yeah, like their short range. They could maybe work with Warlock when it comes to like the HP situation, but you don't have good targets for dragons against orcs. I wouldn't say so. Yeah, like this is it. There you have the build, like the most basic build ever. You go big shooters. Let's just write BS because that's how we roll. Let's make it to like 3 pixels. Oh, big shooters, obviously. Big shooters. Maybe one knob if needed. Like, just if only if you need it. Slag us, burn us, and those are like your best choices. Warboss probably like spiky, and then weapon. I would say you just wait for tier 2 claw. Like, the big shooter could work, but it's not that useful because I don't think you can target. Sorry, I don't think you can target Guardian Weapon team with the ability. And that means that he will just not be able to use it. Spiky, as for accessories, charge is decent, the HP buff is decent, and the damage decrease in tier 2 are both decent. Like, all of his accessories could find their niches. And then let's say we are in tier 2. Honestly, recently what I've been going for, I wish I don't have games because I haven't played this matchup in a while. But what I usually been going for is War Track, and then I queue up, but only queue up. I don't finish them. I queue up tank bastas, and well, after getting upgrades. So it's effectively Irish tier 2, right? So Irish tier 2. Let's write it. Early tier 2. Upgrade shooters. I mean, no, upgrade storms plus slagas, and then queue up bastas. Hello, Tom Derry. Hello. Why do I say queue up bastas? Because Eldar's best options into orcs are Wraithlord and Falcon. So we will work off of that assumption. Obviously, you will have to be kind of mindful of your tech compared to the elder. If you know that you are very much ahead, you can probably go for dev threat, right? But if you know that you are behind, that you're kind of equal, getting that track, some upgrades, and then queuing ambassadors will mean that you can react to Falcon very, very quickly. Because if you don't have tank busters and Falcon comes on the field, you have no way of dealing with him. You will just be shot to death, right? And I had some games where just getting super, like literally blindly rushing bastas with the track worked for me because people really like their vehicles, they really like their transports. So you can kind of, cheese people in that way. If you don't see the Falcon, War Track is still a decent option because it works very well with Slagas, right? So, and it's very, very cheap. It's a very, very cheap unit, so we will not be punished for buying War Track in any way. But if they decide to not go for vehicles for some reason, the Eldar, then probably just go Beard Boy. So, yeah, so queue up Bastas if Falcon, let's write it, if vehicle. Actually, let me just write it in normal text. If it's black, is it black? No. If no, that's the font size. 220. Let's make this white. If Falcon finish Falcons slash VN. Oh, like if you see nothing, you could probably assume Wraithlord, unless you can kind of know what they got. But let's say if Falcon Wraithlord finish Bastas, if not, and that if not is probably if Spooders get Weird Boy. And that's what you kind of do, right? And then you just go tier 3. And then you have our tier 3 situation. You just go tier 3. You get the tank. You just get the tank. It's always tank. Just get the tank. Looted tank is the cheapest tank. It can beat it will be able to beat Falcon. I don't think it will be able to beat Wraithwood with Blightlands, like in the DPS check. But it's since it can shoot once and then run away, it will slowly whittle it down faster than Wraithwood can whittle it down. So it will just kind of work. Another build, let's give it for on like maybe MacBoy or well Knob as another possible build. It is a build that was recommended by Piano not so long ago. It is effectively kind of a tech rush build where you spend way less on your combat prowess in tier 1, but you are trying to get those early tier 2 units and just beat the enemies with that. So it's effectively pulling an Eldar as orcs. And the build is effectively just Slaga, Shoota, Slaga, and then you get Luta. And this build, the good thing about this build is that, Slaga, Shoota, Slaga is stronger than Slaga, Shoota, Shoota in the early game, quite obviously, because the Slagas just provide more DPS than Shootas. Then you go for Lutas, and then you go for Painboy. And effectively, those are all of your tier 1 purchases, and then you go tier 2, and then you can probably get like a dev threat or Weedboy. And obviously upgrade and just work around that. That's like the other build that you could possibly do. Maybe I should probably copy like this. Tier 2, upgrade. Let me do it this way, so it just it's more consistent with the other build idea. early tier 2 track, right? And then you have this kind of build, and then upgrades, right? Upgrade Slagas. Upgrade Slagas. Maybe let me just write it in text normally. Upgrade. And that is effectively what we try to do with this build. And why I wanted to move the word track there is to just remind you that you can possibly get Pain Boy. I'll just write it as maybe. Maybe. Right? You have maybe Pain Boy. And there's the final build. It is effectively Warboss only, in all honesty. It is a Warboss, well, okay, it's Warboss only because Warboss effectively needs it. The opinion of most top players is that effectively Warboss cannot deal with double shuriken. Because if you just layer the shuriken properly, your enemy does that, or if you're playing orcs, or you do that if you're playing Eldar. If Eldars layer both of the shurikens properly, one Stormboys should not be able to displace them. And obviously, aside for Stormboys, orcs have no real way of displacing a setup squad. The best other option that you would have would be to try to suppress the first setup team and then jump the further one with Stormboys and just hope it works. Which is not the best idea to just go off of pure hopium. So, to avoid that, we can use a very, very silly build. And obviously, this build is not necessary for Kainop and Megboy. And the reason is simply because Megboy and Kainop can force off the other setup team, at least by, meleeing them, by teleporting on them and just stopping them in the tracks, and then buying enough time for the Stormboys and all of your army to maybe beat Eldars black and blue. But since Warboss cannot do that, what he does is he can just go double Stormboys. And that is the magic trick. You just go double Stormboys. And I think what I was usually doing with that build was, of course, big shootas on these guys, and that was like my only upgrade. Slagas were effectively capping slats. Stormboys were there for bullying of the setup teams, and shootas were there to help with the bashes after I win the fight. And then, come early tier 2, you get upgrades. And with that build, you can honestly kind of deal with anything. Because what really can Eldar build? Like, your only counter will be Riflert, which I will mention, but effectively, can Eldar go Warp Spiders? The Warp Spider are slightly risky even into Warp Stormboys because they can use Bomba Boy and then jump you, right? So effectively, consider that Stormboys have 2 jumps. So how are you going to avoid 4 jumps, like 2 Bomba Boy into Bomba Boy, or jump into jump? Like, the moment Stormboys see your Warp Spiders, they force the first teleport from the spiders by jumping, and they just jump where they teleport, and your Warp Spiders have to retreat now. Cool. Unless they obviously teleported into a setup team firing arc, right? But if you have setup teams, Stormboys could ignore the spooders and just jump your setup team. So it would be risky again. Can they go fight dragons? No. Can they go Graveguard? No. Otrak? It will kill like a model and then have to retreat. So is that good? I wouldn't say so. So effectively, the only option that Eldar will have, and again Falcon, Falcon not the smartest because Stompers have surprising amounts of damage, and if they just have you can jump both of them, then you effectively have like 110 heavy melee DPS jumping with like 70 range jump with explosions, and if you start to try to peel for the Falcon with like your banshees or with your units, Stompers just jump them instead and murder them. Like effectively, your only option is to go Wraithlord if you are faced as Elder with this build, and then get the Shuriken and then just try to work off of that. And then once you go to T2 and you upgrade your Storm Boys, go T3 and get tank. T3 tank. Oh, I wrote it here. Yeah. But that's effectively I would consider this like the most important builds for orcs, like the basic ones. There are probably like some other ones where you could go like double Luta and just camp and pretend you're Elder yourself. I know that there is two Slaga to shoot a build, but I've never been good with it, so I will not be recommending it to you because I don't know how it works. Uh, and I honestly always fail with it, so I cannot give you tips on the build really, which is a bit unfortunate. But yeah, that's kinda it. Like and win cons like Eldar want to bleed orcs off of requisition, and if possible, Eldars would love to keep the game in tier two because Eldars have so many better tools than orcs do. Like Death Dread is cheaper than a Wraithlord, obviously, but is it better? No. So if you're both sitting in tier two, you will just end up in a moment in a point where where Eldar units just outstat orcs. So if you are playing Eldar, you would love to stay in tier two. If you are playing Orc, you cannot stay in tier two for the love of you. Like in very very few matchups, will orcs really want to stay tier two? And I don't think they are any honestly. But yeah, this is like the basic build rundown. And meanwhile, as said with orcs, you want to find the moments when you are stronger and just kill Eldar and then go for a bash. So now we'll be going for some games, hopefully, if anybody is interested. If not, maybe I'll just skedaddle. I am a tired boy today. Tired boy. Mm, but yeah, if anybody wants to join me for some games, or I'll just host like one or two um, games as OrCs, maybe you could see that double Stormboy action and do anything. Yeah, I'll just host like this little thing, and then I could probably go work. I haven't played in a while, so I'll probably suck, but it is what it is. But yeah. So Jeff, could I ask you nicely to try to go for the double setup team so I can kind of play with the double Storm Boys if you're still here, please. Mm, thank you. Okay, like this probably I could probably give myself an even worse map. Like probably the worst map would be like Travelers or whatever. Actually, no, we have like a Carison on the middle, so yeah, that'd be pretty annoying. Right. Oh well, let's just play this game, and if anybody wants to join in later, we'll do some I think like 2-3 games and we'll be happy boys. But yeah, effectively into Eldar, I much prefer to go for double shooters. I don't know what the best, how would I call it, what the best grouping of your units is. I would assume you can probably do something smart with like with grouping on one side, because on their own orcs aren't like really strong units, so they will they will have to try to group up early game, especially with the WA, because you get access to it so early. You would just love to WA and then bully the enemies with that possibly. So I will not be going here because garrisons, if guardians are there, I cannot beat them, so that's just silly. Oops. So yeah, I don't really remember what the best timing is for the build that I'm going for, so I'll be learning with you, I guess. Haven't played this race in a while, so I don't remember much. Yeah, see, Guardians, I wouldn't have been able to beat them, so this was a good choice. Here we have a Farseer. I'll just have to retreat. No point in being bullied by her. Oh, I didn't retreat, of course, because I was... Oh, I could retreat, but they didn't. Okay, but I don't have bad map control, so that's pretty good. Okay, so I don't know where the Banshees are, which is a... Oh, there they are. No, they are. I can just win this fight, and I just, walk away now, get a model, and since I have my Slaggers there, I cannot be beaten. Yeah, retreats. I don't think I'll get the second Banshee, but we'll try. Right, so we have Farsi here. So I will just kite her, even if I lose a model. If I can stop the decap, I think it will be worth to me in the end. So I don't really mind, like, losing some guys here. Especially that Jeff is now suppressed, he didn't even bleed a model, so that's like an amazing situation for me. I'll just heal up those guys. Guardians there. I can decap this easily. Maybe won't even bleed. Didn't even bleed. Lovely. And I'm just going for double Stormboys now. I don't think I need the second generator for this build, so I'll just get those and kind of try to show how we could play this build, just aggressively. But already in this situation, if it was like a normal game and I was planning to go double Stormboys, if I didn't ask Jeff for anything, already we're in the situation I am probably like I can win a fight, because Jeff should only have a setup team at worst, right? And because it's a setup team at worst, see, I can just jump it and do whatever. Are they jumping? Oh, they were in a very wrong place. Here is not optimal to fight for Banshees. I think I just beat them with the one, as you can see. Like, zombies have a lot of stats, as I said many times. But let's not wipe them. Hopefully. I want to end it too fast. But yeah, that's kind of the idea of the build. Like you can see, I didn't play it the best, but it was still like an easily winnable fight, just because I had so much more stats with my army. Oh, and I found something juicy. Maybe I would get a model, hopefully. Okay, so I think his guardians were in the middle. Oh, yeah, there they are. See? And I wonder whether Jeff will find out like a counter to this. Personally, I haven't, and I don't know. I don't think Inekura has either, because he's probably the person I bullied with this build the most. Like, this is a very annoying build. The problem is obviously that you have a lot of units to play with, so it might be a little bit scary for like a newer player. But right now Jeff has like a little bit of power. But now I have my storms. I need to pay attention to whether he wants to, nade me. If he does, I'll be kinda doomed. So let's see if he has like more setup teams there. If he went for... Oh, I used the wrong ability, obviously. Yeah, but I do this. I can force them off. But I am like super duper rusty, so it's not doing the best. But I guess Jeff is a bit rusty himself. I just dodge the nade, get the gen. And now it's kind of question, like, what can Elder do, right? Like, what can Elder do against this big of a blob? And again, the answer is just try to survive. I don't think they have a good option of combating that, sadly enough. But yeah, you can see why shooters are here, for that generator murder. Okay, so I'll try to do this. To first maybe... Okay, he was shooting the wrong model, which is very good for me, because as you can see, I could just run into them. With that, I'm able to do this, use the global on those Stormboys, and maybe try to win this. It is like super duper risky and probably not optimal. Oh, I was even attacking the wrong squad, I shoot the wrong squad. Here you can see many mistakes, and I probably wiped them. So that's it. But the point still stands. Do as I say, not as I do. Yeah, luckily for me, they didn't even wipe. I'll just try to not have to retreat with my boys. If I can get to a garrison, that'd be pretty good. And just suppress them, and I think the Jeff has used his nade, so hopefully I can just stay there and force him off. But yeah, I spent a little bit too much requisition, as you can probably see. But the fact is that, on the other hand, Jeff has lost a lot of power income. So again, I know where his units are, right? So I can just go for a bit of map control, for a bit of pushing, and you can kind of see how this build works, right? Just constant bullying. So this is an attempt, but like, I have too much DPS for that, obviously. Just A move. Just jump then. Oh, that worked, I guess. Okay, so there was a wipe. I think Jeffs is attempting to trap build. Doesn't stand a chance. I mean, I don't think 2 rangers would have worked there either, because if you went double rangers, I wouldn't have gone for Storm Boys. I would have just gone for maybe like even triple shooters and just walked. I don't know whether he should go as Elder for like triple setup team or whatnot. But yeah, this is kind of the idea. The build is just a pain to fight. A real pain to fight if you go double things. But yeah, I would say that Kanob or Megboy like even worse at fighting Elder. Because, as I said, you really don't want those rangers. Well, maybe Jeff will come and we'll play some more games. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. I lost FS. Shit control. Yeah, this map probably amazing for It's fine, it's fine. Like I don't have many other players. But yeah, that's kind of the problem of the build. Like you just try to survive to Falcon. I think at that point maybe you just go triple shuriken, which could maybe work. But that is a big commitment. Like double Stormbox is just such a scary build. So yeah, on this map, Warp Spider, amazing. Uh, I'll just do a game as Mech Boy, and again go for those Storm Boys. I think what has been told to me is that you can go for some silly bullying strats effectively. So I'll try doing that on this map. Oh, I should have. Well, okay, it is what it is. I'll be doing some mistakes in this one. So we'll see how it goes, eh? Right, so I just want to go here and see what was there. Okay, that's the Farseer. I don't really care for her, so I'll try. Actually, I could poke her, honestly. It's just, 3 damage. If Banshees come, I go into the building. And then I will chase Farseer a little bit. Actually, cannot do much against me, so I'll just play here, right? I wasn't moving them, that's bad. Yeah, I'm just effectively buying time. Oh wait, what am I doing? Cowardice. What would have been smart of him if he just went into the garrison himself? Jeff, I mean. Because that was effectively his only way of, somehow dealing with me. And now what I want to do here is just poke again with my Mech Boy. Yeah, so I should have gone for the generator, obviously. Or maybe. Yeah, obviously, I should have, yeah. So, a lesson for the future. Okay, so he's decapping me. I'll just go back to poking him. Didn't become model, that's unfortunate, but I could honestly maybe get like a slug upgrade and try to wipe him. I know where that's like, the plan. But I'll try it, I guess. In the worst case, I am still forcing his retreat off and I'm bleeding a few models of his, so it's a good situation for me anyway. Let's see what happens. Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, sometimes you can just, switch your build. You can just work like that. Okay, so setup team is already there. I don't have my Storm Boys, but you can see the range. I cannot contest that. There's no chance. So I'll just wait. And what I'm planning to do is to go for battery pack. As Mech Boy, that's probably my best wargear for Storm Boys, because obviously it heals them, right? So that's what I want to go for. Let's get the next gen earlier. Like, I don't need those upgrades like instantly. Okay, does he have 2 already? I think he might. He's using the ability again, which is a little bit annoying. I don't think that guy wipes unless he has Banshees in retreat path, and if he does, it is what it is, At that point, it is what it is situation. Alright, so I can see where one of his setups is. I think I can just kill Farseer if he decides to fight me. And I am just, not jumping up until I have to. Like, this is battle iron, right? One setup should be covering the other one. since that is not happening, I can just, you know, kind of do this. Now I go here, use the cover, melee them. And as you can see, I can just kind of push it like this. Now if I were like going super tryhard, I would have gone for the gen farm, obviously. But let's not do that. It is not really necessary to be full tryhardy today. Okay, decided to run with the banshees, which is smart. This is... I can just kind of gun them down. I should have noted that, which was my mistake, I guess. Yeah, but Jeff has rebuilt his Guardians, which is... I cannot get a grasp on his resources. I thought he would have had to way less of them than he does right now. So just watch out for the nade, right? That's the only thing we need to do here. Watch out for the nade. Just force him off for a moment. And once I am able to, you know, rejoin with my squads, I'll be able to do something. Because the problem is obviously setup teams, right? But since I can teleport onto them, if need be, I can just do this, you know. I got the first one. I'm just meleeing them. Just retreat if needed be, right? Just pretty simple. And obviously that wasn't played ideally, right? But you can kind of see the intent behind Megboy, right? Just bully one of the squads, and then just oh yes those guys. That's bad. I'm not even bashing again. I should be spending more resources. I think he'll just fleet of foot, you know? What? He can do that? That's funny. The big thing is that I know that he doesn't have his nade for a moment, so I can kinda sit in the thing and just, you know, have fun. I have time, right? That's the big thing, that I just have time. In fact, I'm just kind of aggression. Yeah, like if that kills me, it is what it is, you know. If it doesn't, then I can just, you know, leave. And go here and just retreat instantly, right? Sorry, if you see grenade being thrown, don't panic. Yeah, I'm playing against Jeff, yes. Can I displace them? I cannot, so I just have to leave. No, okay, quite simple. Can't do much more than just leaving. Oh, that's unfortunate. So does he have like 2 setup teams, or am I just misplaying? Not can be sure. But yeah, here I'm kinda expecting Falcon, but I'll go for Weird Boy. Just upgrades, you know. Nothing too fancy schmancy. Actually, I shouldn't be doing that. I have, as you can see, my echo is really uneven, I would say. So I should try to spend it so it's, you know, more evenly spread. Like, Jeff will likely get a Falcon, quite obviously. But I don't mind it too much, because I'll be able to, you know, just overpower him effectively for a moment still. And those are Banshees, but I just win this. Unless he has T2 as well. No, he doesn't. He just lucked out. Wow, that's crazy. So he just out-lucked me. Wowie zowie. Oh, I lost my Sluggers even. Crazy. Yeah, that's a Falcon. And yeah, that's kind of DDL that thing, right? That's why normally I go for a track and stuff. But yeah, the fact that you can beat tier 2 Slagas with Banshees just by pure lag is actually kind of annoying. I gotta say. I'll try to burst down fast here, effectively. Yeah, so I cannot do much aside for, chase him. And yeah, this is the situation of the Falcon, right? I mean, I probably should. I don't know what to nerf and what to not nerf. Okay, so I just do this. Shoot him again. Teleport in. And do this. He should just die, hopefully. If my Death Dread attacks him even once, he will die. Like, genuinely, he will die if my Death Dread attacks him once. If he doesn't, I probably lose this, so it is what it is, If he has the setup team with laser here, which would be pretty smart, he just wins. Yeah, but you can see Death Dread is absolutely incapable of chasing units. So yeah, that's Jeff's game. Can rage quit? He did. Yeah. GG's. Yeah, I don't know how those Slagas lost. I was like, they just win these. And I didn't even look and then I lost. I don't know what happened. I'm actually kind of curious. I kind of want to see. Should have globaled off the bat. That doesn't help. Like, I don't know what is happening. But I don't think Death Dread can chase down anybody. Well, Gaidon Cheese may be amazing, but I had not only more HP, but also more DPS than you in that fight. So you only had specials. I'm kind of curious. But yeah, I don't know what is with Death Dread, but he really cannot chase transports. Like, I genuinely don't think I've seen him beat transport once. Well, we'll see about those specials, because he definitely got a lot of specials. Otherwise, it would have been possible, but that must have been crazy, man. Oh, okay, I can do only 4x. Like, I'm not melding, just curious. Because I thought I just absolutely win this, even with your guide and Fireseer. So, it was one of those fights that I think I assumed I must win, unless you had the leader and you didn't. At least I couldn't see it. But yeah, that Falcon was effectively why I say that track, just rushing track, is the best idea. Just rush track and win. But yeah, here, as you can see, I cancelled those guys, but did this. Just, switch the item, maybe kill. Even if I didn't kill, that would be some bleed. I should have been definitely pushing more, but I'm just kind of vibing. Is all okay. If I was probably the most tryhardy tactic on this mission, map, obviously not mission, map, would have been to go for like the big shoot on mech and just abuse garrisons. But it didn't seem like a fun way to play, so I just wanted to, not do that. But yeah, this should probably like farther, like maybe even here. A little bit more of that layering. You can kind of see here, like this mech should be shot by those trees much earlier. Been better. Here I should have been bashing earlier. I didn't know you can jump this. That's a crazy find. That's a crazy Eldar abuse. But here probably the most important tip. A lot of people throw nades on the entrance. So yeah, that's why I didn't go out, even though I saw the nade, right? Because it would have been a very bad ending for me. And here I just jumped blindly, didn't pay much attention. I don't think, no, that'll be earlier. Yeah, but this, honestly, maybe add slightly. Here, one thing. Entering a garrison can counteract your D setup time. So here, the best situation would be for one team to be like on the verge of this garrison and one to be in front of them. If you do it that way, you instantly end up. Oh, I wasn't watching. Well, that was more important. Okay, whatever. they got special, I got unlucky. Because you can abuse getting into garrisons and getting into vehicles, especially, instead of instead of desetting up and save a little bit of time that way, you could have one setup squad here, right, and then have one further, and then if this gets jumped, this one can cover them. But if this one gets jumped, this one is safe. So that's a little one neat little trick that you can obviously do. Just try to keep your setup teams near buildings and vehicles, and that way you could maybe manage the layering better. But yeah, let's get to Kainop. And honestly, Jeff, if you want to try out the Rangers, you can do that. I'll just do like some random ass map. I should give at least somewhat open map to allow Ranger play. Like, I don't want to give the best map to myself or the best map to Jeff. This one is like probably very good Ranger map. In all honesty, you can defend your power from the base. So this would be like good for both Rangers and the setup build. Have you even posted your mod? I don't know if he did. Okay, anybody coming? Any Elder players or any Orc players that I could Elder against? Rookie with Elder Pog. Right, so I'll just kind of play Kainop, and I'll kind of react to what Rookie is doing. But the Kainop definitely the best pick into Elder. Let's be honest. So let's do it like this. Like, I'll do it slightly sillily, let's say. Actually, maybe not. Right, so this place, this map. Why the second Jeffa? I don't know, I just felt like it. I had a lot of rec to spend, and not many avenues of actually spending the requisition, so I was like, okay, I just need to spend it somewhere. So I started spending it on the gens, Oh, come on, what am I doing today? Yeah, today is not a try hard day. It's a silly ass day. Yeah, so he'll just distract me, this is fine. Like, yeah, and see, this is just Warlock in Hoovy Cop. This is not going well yet. For just for, huh? Fuck. Okay, let's just walk into him. Let's just walk into him. And it'll work out itself. So I'll send these guys up top, right? So they're safer there. And these guys I'll just try to chase with. Here you go, here you go. I should have gone for this. Forgot again. Good distractor. Oh, managed to get a bottle off of me. Surprising. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to sound like copying, but I definitely am not playing as much as I was before. So being rusty is, a matter of fact for me at this point. Let's try to maybe bleed a model. Probably won't work unless Rookie doesn't notice. Oh, I did a reload. Okay, that was not a lot. Well, that's unfortunate. One bonk? No bleed. That's fine. And then again, I see Warlock just, range dancing. That's what I was saying about talking about the emulator, whatever the other thing is built. because you cannot really misplace. Well, those are rangers. So let's try this build then. Let's try to adjust my build on the fly. Since it is rangers, as can be seen, right? So I can see them, right, obviously. And now I can just do this, no? What is stopping me? Okay, so I have banshees there, obviously. So that's just sniping, right? But do I care for it? Like, do I? Well, that's an ability, but I'll start bleeding him now. I know that Banshee is going for my farm, because I did notice him doing that. Yeah, this funnily enough, I can genuinely just walk into those rangers. Like, even though I'm bleeding, if I deal more economical damage to Eldar, it'll be, you know, just fine. That was a big mistake. Could have, if he damaged Slagas, I think Rookie could have done much more. Oh, does he kill him? He might kill him. Does he live is the question. If he does, this will be very good play. The question is if he does. This might be a very decent play in the end. What's the retreat path? Oh, it's up. That's not good. Well, that was a pretty good play then. Very nice. Yeah, they can kind of see what I'm just doing. I'm just walking into him. And the bad part is that this map is, you know, very, very good for defending. Like, obviously, I chose that while knowing it. But it's still not easy. That's the thing, right? It's still not easy. I am not playing Total War at all. I'm playing just Vermintide, Tommy. Am I not suppressing them? Come on. Yeah, oh, he wiped them. What am I doing? I'm doing bad stuff. Like, had it been a slightly different map, it would have been much better. Because here, as you can see, Rook can genuinely just sit in his base and shoot me away from his power, which is very annoying. I cannot do much against that. Obviously. Oh, they got like 3 specials. Like, I guess they might have hit like a lot of models. I mean, it is what it is, you know? I don't mind this actually. I can just kinda, you know, tank it for a moment. Okay, I can just survive now. So that's a Warlock. That was a strong distractor, holy schmoly. But you can see, like, I'm already in the base. And what am I gonna do, you know? What am I gonna do? Yeah, so unless he has kinetic pulse, it will be very... Oh, that's bad. Wait, that's even worse for me, I guess. Ah, whatever. I can just go back to bashing, you know? Why am I not capping this? My god. Yeah, so let's just jump them away, right? And tackle the banshees. Okay, so he's using the invis field, that's fine. I could honestly just retreat now. And be happy. Oh, I never rebuilt that gen. That might come to bite me in the ass later. Well, it is what it is. Hopefully my storm base won't get hit. That's good already. Nice. I don't want to chase them because I want to get kinetic comboed, right? Well, that's risky. That's a delayed jump, but I can maybe still get the warlock. I didn't, unfortunate. Well, this is what it is. But I know where his, ranges are, so I'll just try walking into them. And hopefully I can just, deny them to an extent. In my guidance, as you can kind of see, bashing me. Honestly, I probably could have gone for these guys. I have to do that's a retreat. Okay. I don't think they'll get wiped, I hope. Let's just treat everybody. No need to risk anything. Yeah, but you can kind of see, like, elders cannot really bash me with this setup, right? So I've obviously gotten the track to support Slagas, right? And also to use the fact that I can just drive into his ranges and just beat them up. Like, this is the moment where the ranges become the bullied and the dead weight. Just kill this guy, no? Just go in and continue chasing. And now we use the massive jumps of Stone Boys, obviously. Look at that. And that was the wrong choice. That guy was the wrong choice. It was the wrong choice because it does not threaten my Bastas. That's the problem. That's a good burst, and now we run away. Oh, that's a mistake of me. Oh, I guess the track is dying now. Needs to hit me one more time. That will die, I think. Let's hit me in the range. Miss? Oi, Poggies. Oi. Did I wipe anything? I don't think I wiped anything in the end. Yeah, it decided to dash with the rangers, exactly. Egg, exactly. What are those banshees doing? Hello? Rookie. But now, the problem with the Wave Lord is that how does Rook threaten the rest of my army? Well, when I have the, you know, range guys, right? I can just do this. He will need spooders now, I expect. And he has them, exactly. So just run away now. And now I should probably get Weird Boy, in all honesty, or I could get Shotgun as well. Maybe upgrades. Maiko's like not the best already, so we'll see how it goes, really. But I can kind of frontline with these range spots now, and just work, you know, work around it effectively. Okay, so he's trying to combo me, obviously. He didn't, which is nice. So like this, like this. Now what I'm trying to do is to find that Rave Lord, obviously. I cannot really see. I think I noticed him for a moment. So there's a Rave Lord, obviously. Just run away, burst him down. So what I'm trying to do here is, if I can just kill the Wraith Lord, then even if my guys die, it is not that big of a problem, you know? And effectively, since I have 2 threats for AV, he cannot just run at me. I think had Rookie gone Immolator and then Champion Rope and just sat his guy somewhere in the middle, he probably could have beaten me, in all honesty. But yeah. Yeah, usually you will not be able to do with Rangers what Rook was doing with the Rangers, meaning sit in base and then just bully me. But yeah, you can always, you know, play to the strengths of the map. Like, what also was I supposed to do to displace those Rangers in base? Nothing really. So yeah, Rookie definitely played as well. Right. I'm down for like one more thing and then I will be skedaddling. Hopefully we would have like newbies. 1v1 the... Well, actual noob game. I'm saying like I was playing some professional DoW2 when I wasn't. Let's find like an okay map. Let me think. Is this an okay map? This is like a decent map, but it was played today. Jarilo is a no. No. Quests. could do quests, I guess. Seraph is a nice map. Oh, Refinery, yeah. Yeah, sure. It is a decent map because on one hand you have good rangers, but on the other, yeah. I see. I mean, I definitely bled a lot. Where Raveguard, not really, not really. They're too vulnerable to Storm Boys, especially because they're heavy infantry. The Storm Boys jump them, and that's instantly like 250 effective DPS. Like, why would you do that to yourself? No. Storm Boys, the good matchup for Raveguard are definitely IG. They can definitely work into IG because they counter like Chimera, they counter the blobbing. Would you play them into Chaos? Probably not, because letters, maybe Raptors. Threat. Mm, would I play Raveguard into SM? Probably not, because again, ASM. Like, if the enemy has a jump squad, Raveguard are not the best. And if they have something snipey, they probably won't be the best either. They are like good for the blob races. I maybe Raveguard could genuinely work into nits if you can peel for them, because nits do blob up a lot. And but at that point, I think just going fire dragons might be better into nits, because they also can work off the enemy blobbing up, and uh, they I would say they have probably better DPS into like warriors and whatnot. So will I have a newbie Orc and newbie Eldar, please? Are any coming, or am I skedaddling, bro? Bruh, give me a good start. Ah. Oh, wow, no, Manon. 5, 1, 1. Here, this 3. Here's 3. Here, that's a 1, so this one is 3. Oh, man. Oh, I didn't notice that was 3 as well. That's luck. Cool, I guessed. I was so much better at it recently. Did I become a potato because of playing slashers? Yeah, on the topic of spooders, if you knew that I had like Bastas and they were like my only AV, well, I mean, if you see the track Rook Zero, one important thing, you don't really need the the AV cannon for it. Like you really didn't need it, because the only thing my tracks realistically provides is the reinforce, right? So at that point, you could have just go for Shuriken and just decided that, okay, I am going to just try to out DPS you, because I really cannot jump you with my storms, like that would be risky, and the bastards will take a while before they can kill Wraithlord on their own, right? So you effectively sit the Wraithlord in front as a big brick that cannot be moved. Um, you keep rangers in the back and you are ready to shoot the bastards. And then once bastards appear, I would probably have to, genuinely take them out, shoot, and then put them in instantly. And what you would be trying to do is to bleed them, and obviously bleed my other models. And then if you just waited for Otrak, for Spooders, for Aspect of Strength, you probably could have genuinely beaten me there. Mhm. And obviously, like some more like upgrades could have done wonders as well, right? Nobody's coming, so I'll probably skedaddle because I want to do some stuff for me uni for Tuesday, and yeah, I've got stuff to do. So I'll just save that file that I made. I'll probably improve the little thing that I made before I share it, and then I'll be skedaddling now. I think next week I'll probably just do like knits OM, I guess, or OM. No, I didn't. Or OM IG or OM knits. Probably not knits IG. It has self-destructed by now, yes, but there is still the I worked at Blizzard, file. So there's that. But no, I didn't download. Yeah. Anyway, I'm skedaddling, baby.